Assalamu alaikum and good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to welcome you all to this special webinar, which is titled Reflecting on the UAE Market Brief 2024, Insights and Opportunities. This session comes on the heels of the annual Congress, during which we launched the latest edition of the Market Brief, a publication that offers a snapshot of the UAE's green building landscape, its progress, and the pathways ahead. Today, the discussion also coincides with the World Environment Day, and this reminds us of the urgency and the opportunity that we have to shape more sustainable cities and communities through the built environment. The UAE Market Brief 2024 touches on many key themes, including retrofitting, green certifications, embedded carbon, policy alignment, and more. But beyond the numbers and charts, it's the lived experience of regulators, engineers, and sustainability champions that gives the data life. And this is why we are here today, as we would like to hear directly from professionals who are shaping the direction of the market. I'm pleased to be joined by three knowledgeable and passionate panelists who each bring a unique perspective to this conversation. Please join me welcome Engineer Khalil Al-Abbasi, Sustainability Consultant at the Department of Municipalities and Transport, Abu Dhabi. Also, Engineering Mona Ismail Al-Qaisi, Manager of Facility Permit and Sustainability at the Ports, Customs and Free Zone Corporation, PCFC, Dubai. And Natalie Joseph, Senior Energy Engineer at Ras Al Khaimah Municipality, Energy Efficiency and Renewables Office, REEM. Thank you, dear panelists, for joining us and giving the time. And let's start the discussion. And I would advise everyone really to learn as much as possible from the insights that we will hear soon. And also, if you have questions, you can put it on the Q&A, and we'll do our best to answer your questions. Before I go into the question, the first question, to make everyone read or go through the market brief, we're not going to share any data or any slides during this session. So this is your exercise after this meeting. You have to go and read the report. Okay, let's start and really make use of the time that we have. The first question I would like to start with is kind of setting the scene, and this question is directed to my dearest panelists. So, from your perspective, what's one development in your emirate that best illustrates the UAE's progress in the green or in greening its built environment? And excuse me, Khalil, we'll go ladies first, if you don't mind. So let's start with Engineering Mona.
Good afternoon, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes, thank you.
So thank you, Mr. Abdellatif. Thank you, Lana, for the invitation, first of all, and to have this chance to discuss very important information. So the question is regarding the, I think from our point of view, since Tarakhis and PCFC had been contributed in the Dubai 24 vision for the master plan of Dubai. So today we are speaking, before we have only the green building on the level of the building envelope, but now the new participate this, and the two past year is regarding the master plan of the Dubai, which is more important than only the buildings. So the pillars which had been decided and discussed in this committee was very important. Many of them regarding sustainability, the level of the city itself. So let's start, let's say the walk city, or the cycling public transportation to keep facilities, the 5 urban design in Dubai. the two extra urban design, the walkable city, it is one of the main pillars has been added to the 2040. So 20 minutes community, 30 minutes walk city, and also the most, and the pillar which I really very interesting on in the population density. You know, the density of the each plot had been increased to reduce the uh, building, the new building, and so the density it was 2,600 per person per square kilometer. It's increased to 4,200 person per square kilometers. So this is major issue from the sustainability point of view. Also increase the parking or the park and open spaces had been increased from 20 square kilometer to 45 square kilometers. The 60% to reserve the rural and the natural reserve area. You have to save them. In additional, there are about 45 initial policies added. Seven of the policies added regarding the environment and open spaces. This is from the part which is related to the master plan. In Dubai also, the unified code was one of the really very important issue had been published before 3 years. And this code, it at least unified the regulation for all the aspects, including the sustainability and the green. So this code had been issued based on teamwork from all Dubai municipality, Tarakhis, GDA, Dubai South, all to create a new code will at least unify the regulation within the entity. Before each entity has their own regulations, some of them based on lead, some of them based on istidama. Uh, there was no unified regulation. This is from my point of view, it was something, the two events, it's really enhanced the subject of the sustainability.
Thank you very much, Mona, for the updates. Sounds interesting to know that at least we started unifying codes, and hopefully this spreads over the UAE. Let's now move towards the north of the UAE. So we go to you, Natalie. The same question. You know, what's happening in Ras Al Khaimah that you'd like really to share with us now?
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Lana and Mr. Abdul Latif, for organizing this webinar. And also, it was lovely to hear your insights as well, Engineer Muna. So for Ras Al Khaimah, I think one of the key things for us was the first green building code in the Emirate, Barjil. It was the first time we looked at energy efficiency in buildings at all. So that was a big change in the way we looked at constructing buildings and the way we looked at the systems in buildings in general. And we launched that in 2019, and we have now around over 4,000 buildings completed as per Barjil in Ras Al Khaimah. So this was, I think, a big change that really set the path forward for this type of thinking. And then another, this is for new buildings, this was the main change. And then in terms of existing buildings, we started off with a government-wide retrofit program. So we did a group sourced tender for all the government buildings, to retrofit all the government buildings together. So we put together over 40 government buildings of different sizes, different types, put them together in one tender so that we could address all buildings. It was a retrofit project that brought in good returns, a payback within 5 years, and it was again it pushed it changed the way of thinking in Ras Al Khaimah, that we can bring energy efficiency even at a later stage into a building and see good returns and see positive returns. And so that for us, these were the two major changes that set the path forward in the built environment in terms of energy efficiency and the way buildings are constructed and operated. So that for us, that was the big starting point.
Thank you very much, Natalie. Now let's go to the capital of the UAE, Abu Dhabi. So Khalil, again, what's one development in Abu Dhabi that best illustrates the UAE's progress in greening the built environment?
Yeah, hello, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Enjoy Abdul Latif and Lana, for organizing this. And just to iterate on what you said, please, whoever is listening, if you still did not go through the market brief, it's a source of valuable information if you need in the built environment in the UAE. I mean, in terms of Abu Dhabi, there are a lot of success stories that reflect the Emirates' leadership, in terms of sustainable urbanism. Sustainable built environments have been mandated for over a decade. So we are no longer just piloting sustainability in a way, we are scaling it up. If you take a look at Masdar City, for example, which is a living lab for climate responsive urban design, where streets are shaded, they're narrow, they're walkable. This, based on studies, lowers ambient temperature significantly, which makes outdoor spaces accessible 365 days a year. We live in a hot, arid environment, so some parks might be challenging to visit with family mid-June till September. And this is why sustainability in urban design is important. Masdar is also home to the Net Zero Mosque. I'm sure a lot of you saw across the news the launch of the Net Zero Mosque, which is operational now. And this demonstrates really how even religious facilities, can lead in sustainable design, combining solar, passive cooling, and grey water reuse. In addition, when it comes to Masdar, I'm not sure if you're familiar with Masdar requirements, but most buildings in Masdar city are required to achieve a minimum of 3 Pearl ratings or higher. And this really shows performance in action when it comes to Masdar city itself. We also have the notably Zayed International Airport new terminal. This is one of the largest structures in the UAE currently with a 3 per rating. This is designed primarily to handle 45 million passengers a year with minimal energy intensity. And this is done through integration of smart lighting, daylighting, operational waste diversion, high efficiency systems. This is all integrated with a smart building management system to optimize both energy and water use in real time. And lastly, the sustainable city is not only in Dubai and Sharjah anymore, it's coming to Abu Dhabi and Yas Island, which is mainstreaming net zero living in UAE. And this is by achieving 5 pearls for its villas, which is the first residential community or villa project to achieve the highest certification in the Istidama program. And what does this mean? This means that it includes efficient villas supported by rooftop solar PVs. And this is estimated to save up to 50% on electricity and water bills. When it comes to residence livability, sustainable city enjoys a car-free zones, shaded walkways, electrical buggies. This is all blended wellness to connect sustainability and social to resident level, as well as urban farms. This promotes, growing their own herbs, vegetables, which incentivizes food production and cuts the need for long-distance transportation. Again, these are examples here and there. There are a lot more other success stories in Abu Dhabi, but these examples are not isolated projects or achievements. These we've seen that these are signals of an ecosystem shift and reflects a shift towards building sustainability into every layer of our urban environment. This starts from master planning to district level to sector level and eventually to building level to ensure a full ecosystem of sustainable development.
Thank you very much, Khalil. I didn't know that the sustainable city in Abu Dhabi is achieving 5 Pearl for the villas. That's very impressive, really. And the way you've put your comments about Masdar City made me like want to visit it again, although I've been there many times. But
Well, you should.
I just
If
felt
you
that
should
no, I don't
enjoy
know the
the
city. I don't know the city very well.
even
So
the public transport, the anonymous transport that is emission free. It's an if you're driving by Abu Dhabi, I'd be happy to take you around.
thank you very much, Khalil. I think this is also an open invitation to everyone to visit Masdar City. I know many of us may have been there already, but if we have another chance, why not? We'll stay with you, Khalil, for now, and let's now maybe dig deeper into the actual report itself or the market brief. As I said earlier, the report tackled or points to a growing attention on retrofits, certifications, and integrated energy solutions. Which of these areas do you see picking up most traction in Abu Dhabi, of course, and what are the reasons or a reason behind that? Thank you.
Well, the three items are important, so maybe I'll touch briefly on each one of them. I mean, in Abu Dhabi, sustainability is not an option. It's not a voluntary item to tackle. It's a requirement by design, specifically in the building sector. So, in terms of certification, we've noticed a shift from compliance-driven to a culture. Developers now are aware of the requirements. They're not pushing back anymore. It's part of their design culture. Whereas per the report, we have over 10,000 buildings certified since the program became mandatory in 2010, as well as we as DMT were prioritizing performance verification through commissioning and real-time monitoring, not just theoretical modeling during design. And this reflects even in the private sector. We have developers such as Adar, which are voluntarily seeking higher certification ratings in their flagship projects. So they're going beyond the minimum mandatory requirements. In terms of energy solutions, I think Abu Dhabi has a clear path when it comes to providing a diversified energy mix. And this is as per the 2050 Energy Outlook, where the framework will see 60% of Abu Dhabi's power being generated from clean energy and renewable sources, and this is by 2035. This includes a nuclear, which is already up and running, existing and planned solar farms, in addition to a waste energy system planned in the pipeline. And lastly, I kept the best for last is the retrofit, which in Abu Dhabi, I like to call it the sleeping giant, because as per the report and our statistics, 60 to 70% of Abu Dhabi's buildings were built prior to the Istidama rating system. And I think this is our largest sustainability opportunity or an untapped market where pilot retrofits in schools and mosques, for example, are showing up to 40% energy savings. So retrofitting is not a side program anymore, something which we might explore later. It's central to achieve net zero targets, because if we can provide an unlimited supply of renewable energy, but that does not mean that we do not have to address the efficiency and demand side of the equation. And that's where the net zero balance comes in place. So I think Abu Dhabi is at a tipping point. We have the policy foundation, we do have technical solutions, and hopefully now the momentum to bring all the buildings into the future.
Very interesting. Thank you, Khalil. I mean, there is certainly a lot happening in Abu Dhabi, and I see this as as encouraging, really, sign to others. Let's now drive back to Dubai and hear from Muna. Again, here in Dubai, or at least in PCFC, retrofits, certification, integrated energy solutions?
For me, or from all the, as Khalil said, that the three topics are very important. But the really retrofitting, now we have massive submissions for retrofitting within Dubai as well. From the submission from many existing, they are in modification rather than in new buildings. So yes, it is very critical because Tarakhis or PCFC construction, at least from 2008, started the green building regulation, and it was mandatory till now, of course. So almost especially villas, buildings had been certified with the Tarakhis certification since 2013. So we start also in, let's say, in advance. So now the retrofitted, it will be easier for us. So many villas now, they start to modify it. But we are creating simple, smart checklist. This checklist at least help the people, because when the networks infrastructure had been constructed without considering the green regulation, let's say, we cannot, of course, start. We have to simplify the regulation for the modified construction. So now, let's say the envelope of the building or villa or any kind, we can change the U value, they can modify, they can use also the finishes, the SRI, the efficient HVAC system, all these can be controlled. Like the exercise we did now with the Dubai government about modifying the existing building, government building. Part of the buildings with Dubai Customs is under PCFC, JAVSA, DP World. So all these buildings had been now, we start to work together as team to modify them to be in line, to be certified first. And in our also Tarakhis or PCFC, we create more categories for the green certification. Before we had only certified building. Now we did more effort this year to add the golden, the other certification scoring for the building. And we are working now in the modification. We are creating very smart checklists. Will be easy. Modification, that's mean we don't have to go for professional consultants sometimes. We don't have to go for the cost, for the efficient of the work. So for new buildings, we mandate a specialist green consultant to work in the building. And these consultant, or the list of the consultant, had been certified by Tarakhis. So they have all the tools, they have the staff, and even the energy modeling, all the required requirements, it's there with them. But for modification, it will be really difficult to convince the people to use a specialist consult. It will be most cost, especially when the project is small. So we try to help the people to be part from the team who is working in the modification, and inshallah we will success. For us, the task is a little bit easy because since 2008, is almost the building are as per the regulation, and our previous regulation even more stringent than Dubai Building Code today. So the block, the material, the all it was as per the green building requirements, and we achieved very good saving in the energy and so on. So this is our, and I think the modification is the most and more topic we can work on it.
Thank you, Muna. I mean, leading by example is certainly very important and encourages, others, whether other, private sector, let's say, entities, or even other government entities. You made a comment which really kind of, I wasn't, of course, planning at all about that, but you made a comment that like triggered, I don't know, something in my mind. You said, although your requirements or regulations were in 2008, which is now, around 20 years less, but it is more stringent than the Dubai codes. So for me, there's a message here that being more stringent is doable, is feasible, because your clients are all companies, commercial. I mean, they're there to make, profits and money, and they have met your requirements, and they're doing the business. So it's not always being very stringent means, it's not doable or it's not feasible. Am I right?
It's doable, and the thing that it is more measurable. Now in the code we are little bit relaxed in the percentage of the saving, not so specified. In the previous regulation, it is mandatory to do the energy modeling to measure exactly how much I'm saving in this building, in the electricity, how many the recycling. This is more in detail. Until now, we did, and if you will visit the PCFC Tarakhis website, you will find for each building had been certified the fact sheet. What is each building with their also kind of incentive to the owner that his building or her building, it is there in the website showing that it is already certified with all the parameter, how much they are saving. And when we multiply with the years, I think we are saving since 2013 when we start for the building. 2008 it was just for the just regulation without certification. I think it's big measure.
Thank you very much, Mona, again. Thanks.
Can I jump in here?
Yes,
I think we have a similar trend, even in the Istidama rating system, although it's launched in 2010. However, the requirements that were set back in the days were a bit too stringent, maybe. Now it's become normal, but based on recent studies we've done, our requirements, which were introduced in 2010, are still on par with some of the recent regulations adopted by different entities. So yes, it works if it's too stringent. Now the feasibility of it back in 2010 was a lot more expensive, and this is given to available suppliers, different supply chain issues when it comes to sustainability back in the days. But I do support Dubai's opinion that now it's becoming a norm. You have abundance of PV suppliers in the market, or sustainable blocks or insulation. So I think that balances the feasibility of stringent requirements plus sustainability to deliver on our requirements.
Interesting, Khalil. And I think now maybe I knew the answer of why kind of Abu Dhabi is relaxed about updating Istidama. They've kind of like ahead of time. So, but yeah, well done to all. Let's go now to the city of Jebel Jis. Natalie, again, Ras Al Khaimah, retrofits, certifications, and integrated energy solutions.
So for us, I think retrofits is still top priority because a large portion of the buildings in Ras Al Khaimah are still old. Our regulations are fairly new compared to Dubai and Abu Dhabi. And we have done now the retrofit of the government. We're supporting a lot of projects with the hospitality sector, with the commercial sector, and what we're looking at is to expand that to the residential sector because that is an area that is not tackled as easily. One of the ways we've started doing it is through an advisory scheme for villas. So we do, and it's a Manzili energy audit service. So energy advice service. So we conduct audits for villas, and we give them recommendations on what they can do to improve their the energy efficiency in their homes. And we've now tied that up with Etihadwi to incentivize them as well on what they save. So for every dirham that they save, they are given back a dirham as well. So that's something that we have started implementing. We've done about 160 homes so far. But we still need to do a lot more to tackle the residential sector, the apartment buildings. And I think that is still a focus for us. Also in terms of like building retrofits, but also replacement programs, like just doing an emirate-wide equipment replacement program for ACs or for other equipment that we see. We're studying those as well. In certifications, I think it's also because I guess retrofits is the first part of it, but then you want to maintain or sustain the impact of these projects, and that would be through energy management, continued improvement in energy management practices. So we are continuously striving for ISO 50001 certification. All the government entities are already certified under that, but that is something that we are pushing towards as well, to sustain the impact of the retrofits over time. When we implemented the ISO 50001 in the government entities, we built a guidebook on how to implement energy management systems in any company. So from our experience, we sort of simplified the process for any other company who wants to apply such a system in their facilities. And then I think in general, that is the primary focus. Integrated energy solutions is also important for us, but we're slowly picking up on that with some distributed solar installations here and there. And also in terms of like energy monitoring and building management systems within our buildings, to just improve the way we collect data, the way we analyze it, the way we improve systems based on that. So that is primarily our focus. But I'd say that retrofits is still a key thing. We still have a lot to do in that space in Ras Al Khaimah. So yeah, that will remain a
Just a
priority.
quick follow-up question,
Mhm.
Natalie. Do you see the retrofitting, I mean, the numbers, let's say, the acceptance, the progress is encouraging when it comes to
The
retrofitting?
The results are good. So we
Okay.
initially, to get a buy-in, we wanted to ensure any retrofit projects would stay within the 5-year payback so it would also help convince a lot of the building owners and developers to implement these projects. But we're seeing an uptake. People are interested now. It's in the government. It was like the first time we were doing it, but then now with the hospitality sector, with commercial, it's picking up. So where we see that, but we feel like we need to find alternate routes as well, like through maybe more centralized mass replacement programs or something like that. But we to tackle a larger group of people. Uh, so, but yes, there is an uptick. We do see the savings are always within the 25 to 30% range. There is an impact.
It's good that you've mentioned, you as a government entity is working on, trying to maintain this payback period of 5 years, because I think this is a key question that, investors will ask,
Mhm.
if I invested in retrofitting, what are my financial, let's say, indicators? So
Right.
that's really appreciated. We'll stay with you, Natalie, and talking about regulations and alignments. Of course, local codes and guidelines play key role. Um, how are your policies in Ras Al Khaimah helping to translate on the national level, climate goals into action on real projects? And for me, most importantly, any recent shifts you'd like to share in regulations or policies or codes in Ras Al Khaimah, if there are any.
So apart from the ones that I've just talked about, which is the green building regulations, we to kickstart the retrofit project in the government, we had a resolution for all government entities to reduce their to improve their energy efficiency by 20%, which was what drove the government retrofit project. And that was in the beginning. And then now we've sort of, it's been a few years of just implementing these projects and seeing the results of that. And then that pushed a set of policies that we launched last year, which were to tackle different sectors. So we issued a resolution for the industrial sector, where we mandated all industries over a certain threshold of consumption to conduct audits periodically and to come up with implementation plans on all the basically whatever measures they identify during the audits. They need to prepare proper plans and report on the progress of implementation of those. And then we issued a mandate. So we already had a green procurement policy for the government sector. It was a voluntary initiative at the time, so every entity was just doing it if they could. But now we have issued a mandate for all government entities to adopt green procurement policies within their facility. And a third resolution that we issued was to extend this government efficiency resolution that we had before. So initially we had the target was 20%, but now we're extending it to 30% energy efficiency, and we've added a third category. So before it was energy and water, but now we've added a third category on fuel as well, of the fuel consumption of the government entities. So those are the three major resolutions that we launched last year, which are right now in implementation phase. And then we also issued, this was a bit 2-3 years ago, but it was the Sustainable Community Guidelines that we launched for Ras Al Khaimah. So there we are just implementing these guidelines on a small district in Ras Al Khaimah to just test it out before full-scale rollout. And another, because this is more tilted towards decarbonization, but towards adaptation, we are looking at, we also work quite closely on outdoor comfort. This is an important topic for us in Ras Al Khaimah, to just extend the usable hours of Ras Al Khaimah for people. So we have done a lot of on-ground studies of installing systems and monitoring the results from those, and some studies, and we've issued like outdoor comfort guidelines for the region for developers to follow at a community level, at a building level. This is just to help give them some direction in terms of what they can do at their plot level to improve outdoor comfort with an attempt to minimize energy and water consumption so trying to do things as passively as possible before switching to active systems. So these are some of the key things that we've done in the last few years towards which would help contribute at national level.
Thank you, Natalie. And specifically on the outdoor comfort, I'm excited to see how this progress really, because it's when I first heard about this, I think a couple of months ago, I was really excited that Ras Al Khaimah is thinking about outdoor comfort. So yeah, wish you all the best on that.
Thank you.
Khalil, same set of questions. Regulations and codes. Any policy? How you see policies, or how your policies in Abu Dhabi helping to translate the national climate goals into actions, and then if there's any recent shift that you've seen or you'd like to share with the audience.
I think it's very important to complement each other's work, both on a local and a federal perspective. It's important that in sustainability, we don't try to reinvent the wheel, start from scratch. So Abu Dhabi's approach is clear when it comes to federal regulations. We do align locally, we act decisively, and then we lead by example, and we build on others' work. So building on the work that was done federally by the Ministry of Climate Change, with defining a clear decarbonization pathway to 2050, zero. So under DMT, two of the most critical sectors are building and transport sectors. And the building sector, the Sidama program falls under efficient new buildings, but we don't stop at design. So the program ensures that sustainability is embedded across the entire life cycle of the project, from concept covering construction through audits and eventually commissioning and verifications to ensure systems operate as intended. Although the Istidama program has been mandated by over a decade, there's still a lot of work to be done to ensure that we are and remain on track for net zero by 2050. Constant regulations, constant market updates, constant sustainability concepts are introduced. So it's important that we stay up to date with these updates coming up. When it comes to transport, again, we can't talk about decarbonizing cities without tackling mobility, because I think that's something that we use on a daily basis. And in Abu Dhabi specifically, there's a plan to launch 1,000 plus new EV chargers in 400 key locations across Abu Dhabi, Al Ain, and Al Dhafra. In addition, if you've been to Abu Dhabi recently, you'd notice the new electrical buses, public buses around, in addition to hydrogen buses, and the autonomous rapid transport system, the ART, which are now operating in real service between key routes across Abu Dhabi. And this offers a diverse option in public transport to shift from internal combustion engine, as well as revitalization projects, which are currently might make residents a bit upset, given the construction activities going around Abu Dhabi. However, revitalization projects are ongoing in Abu Dhabi in different sectors. This is primarily to improve livability of residents, to promote walkability, cycling, and alternative modes of transport. And these efforts, are not just about upgrading infrastructure. They're also about enabling a behavior shift and change, and making low emission mobility the default of what residents could use. So from efficient buildings to low emission mobility, our policies are turning national goals into local momentum in a sense. So we are moving from a compliance base to more of a performance, measurable performance achievements. And we're also translating a lot of our pilot projects and successful proof of concepts to city-wide rollouts. And this is in line with our responsibility in developing a climate change adaptation plan for the infrastructure sector in Abu Dhabi.
Thank you very much, Khalil, for the info. Mona, same question to you now in Dubai, PCFC also.
The same question. Really, regulation are very important. Set regulation, the policies make big difference. Now, Dubai municipality and in Dubai there are regulation. First, for example, one of the policies is for construction site waste. The segregation of the material, and it is big impact that the material within the construction, it won't be thrown to sorry.
Yeah, Mona, you just hang for a second. Yeah, go ahead.
So now this is one for the policies, the new policy. The other one is the master plan, as I told you. Nowadays, we have even the plot usage have been changed. Before it was, let's say, residential. Now, the ground floor is with retail. That's mean we increase or provide the accessibility, the walkability for the city, the development. The new master plan we had issued with the Tarakhis had been really big impact. The walkway to this mosque, the walkway to this school is already measured. And before it was like optional, I'mar or Nakhil or big master developer, they added, but not in mandating as master plan. So now, Palm Jabal Ali, for example, it is very nice exercise will be, inshallah, for the sustainable environment, for the walkway, for the shading, for the cycling. The existing pond, for example, it's already there is such kind of, but not 100% like the new projects. There are many cities like Dera Island where the percentage of the green is 40% of the island, and the walkability and the green, the parks are really different than the regulation before, and it is amazing project will be in Dubai. So yeah, all the bridges, all the cars will be like 10, yani under ground where, and above all the roads will be walkable, shaded areas. So from my point of view, also there is something very important in the implementation of the requirements. Nowadays, we receive many nice submission for building permit, satisfying all the regulation, the energy is 20%, 30%, but the implementation on site, this is very, very important. In Tarakhis, and this is very, we did team for checking the sustainability requirement during completion certificate of each building. And any building, which is villas or multi-story building or tower. So this is, I think, many documents which we receive it during the construction is not as per the approved drawings. So this is the key. Sometimes how we achieve it, not on paper, we achieve it on actual. So this is the enhanced commissioning, for example, and the billing. We receive it after the building operation and we save them. And all these reflecting accurate information, accurate achievement to the design. So the design stage many times is very nice, but after that, when we constructed, especially with the new consultant contractor, they didn't feel that this will be measured. So now, the team for the completion for each building or project is very important. The recommissioning, the enhanced commissioning, all these are very important information to achieve not only the regulation, to construct it on site. So this is from my point of view. I think this is the most challenging for achieving report and the goal for the sustainability.
Thank you, Timon. So yeah, planning is important. Design is of course is important, but not less important is the actual construction or the implementation.
Yeah.
So this is a key takeaway that build or implement or install as planned. Again, just to remind the audience, you can ask questions by posting them on the Q&A. And until we receive some questions, I have a final question to our panelists, but please make your answers short so we can hopefully answer more questions from the audience. What would you like to see in the 2026 market brief that is not currently there? An impact or a result that you feel proud if it's in the report, which reflects again the let's say the achievements of the emirate where you represent. So maybe now we go by alphabetical order. So we start with you, Khalil.
Yeah, thank you. I think based on the different points discussed today, I think our role as regulators is to act as enablers, So similar to the recently launched midfield terminal and Zayed International Airport, I believe we're building a runway, and I hope by the next market brief or the years afterwards, for the actual marketplace to take off. So I hope to see a fundamental shift and momentum from government-driven mandates to initiatives led by the private sector, in terms of innovation and investments in sustainability. Specifically, when it comes to us in Istidama, I do hope that we see an increase in voluntary adoption of above the minimum required target per rating. And as an overall, not only for 2026, but for the years onward, I think Abu Dhabi's sustainability journey will no longer be powered by regulations, mandates, etc. I do hope that it will be fueled by market leaderships, innovation, utilizing AI technologies. I think that's the tipping point where we're moving towards, where sustainability becomes profitable and not just permissible because of laws and regulations.
Thank you very much, Khalil. Muna?
Yes, for I think I would like to see in the new market brief the number of development based on they follow the Dubai 2040, because that's mean all the city, including building, including it will be measured and in all Dubai. The other thing, the accurate information about how much we are saving, let's say Tarakhis or any of our development. I did the presentation about the certified building, and I calculated from the saving for each building, then multiply by the years of the operated of this building. So let's say if it is 10 years, that means the saving is three times, not only every 3 years we are, if it is 30%, they are for the electricity and the water and what. So these all we did gathering with the owners, and we show them and we certify, and the owners of the building. We gave the certification for the green consultant who work on this building, and we certify the building itself, and we explain for the. So if we did same practice in the market, and we show how much we are by this, how much I'm saving, what's the benefit of the green building, in the energy, water, whatever, all the parameters we are using. So, and I would like also to share in our website with the fact sheets for the building in the market, because it will like kind of not advertising, but it will let the client do the same, that their buildings will be there in the website of the Dubai government, and it's like and showing all the how the achievement, not only numbers, even what is the scoring of this building. It will be like platform where everybody can put the nice green buildings on it.
Thank you very much, Mona. I mean, yeah, thanks a lot to take into with us and see, how we can really do that for the next brief. Natalie.
So we are working on a rating system for buildings as a next step after Brazil, because that was a minimum set of requirements. So we hope to see that maybe in the next brief. But in general, not specific to Ras Al Khaimah, I think a focus on the other aspect of buildings in terms of the materials, the construction methods. I think that is something that is also a significant contributor to emissions. So I feel like that's another side of it that we should look into. And it would be interesting if we can do that for the next brief, or at least in the coming years.
Sure. Thank you all for your ideas and suggestions. Lana?
I have a question to the speakers, but first of all, thank you so much. I really feel very proud of the progress that is happening. We initially had the idea of adding some sort of monetary value, let's say, or an understanding of how much sustainable finance is going into the built environment. So would that also be another indicator that we can add to the market brief? So within years, we can see progress on how much money or what sort of mechanisms are being added into the built environment and so on. This year, we couldn't do it. There were initial discussions with different banks, but I think it was maybe short of a notice to add that indicator. So I wanted to hear from the speakers. And we have, I think, Abdulatif, one question, especially related to AI.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe let me. I know because we have only 5 minutes. So maybe we ask the question of the AI, and then we give the last 5 minutes to the panelists to answer both the questions, yours and the AI one. I know there are a number. I mean, I see number of questions or follow up, but I think maybe the main theme here is this, the use of AI, techniques or AI, solutions that will help accelerate, the process of energy usage or energy, efficiency in the built environment. So 2 questions, and again, the floor is open to the panelists to answer. The sustainable finance as an indicator, do we include that in the brief? And then the use of AI as a tool to help energy efficiency or energy usage. The floor is yours, dear panelists. Anyone? Okay, Khalil, you start
ahead
first.
for that.
تفضل.
Okay, so for the AI question, I think in Abu Dhabi we have several buildings now that utilize AI and machine learning in their building management systems, especially to not only monitor the performance of systems, but also to control, such as HVAC systems, for example. The BMS takes control depending on the occupancy of certain spaces and depending on the fresh air supplied, it alters different thermostat temperatures based on the ambient temperature. When it comes to lighting, there are different lighting controls embedded that the BMS not only monitors but also controls. And this is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to AI. I mean, just how far we went from this year to last year in terms of the traction that AI is getting. I think there's still a lot more market potential when it comes to the building sector and utilizing the correct, not only AI, but also hardware in buildings to be able to get to a point where we do have measurable data, quantifiable from building operations. This supports predictive maintenance, ongoing operations, and so on.
Okay, so I'm mute.
I'll give the speaker access or the attendee just.
Okay, sorry.
Mohammed, you should be able to unmute yourself. Can you check, please?
In the meantime, now maybe I can go back to your question. I mean, it's always important when you talk about sustainability to provide the numbers, the subsidies, the support that banks could offer through sustainable financing. So yes, I think it would be of value to have it to justify, because something which we used to face is the argument of increased construction costs. So if in a way sustainable finance could offset that in a bit to try to make it as attractive and lucrative for not only developers but also individual homeowners to adopt sustainability, then I think that would get some sort of traction to get things going.
Thank you, Khalil. We have a very good suggestion, Lana, in the chat, so please, make note of that. I mean, time really flies. I very much enjoyed this discussion, and I hope we have some more time to continue. But please, everyone, join me in giving a round of virtual upload to our panelists. Thank you very much, Khalil, Muna, Natalie, firstly for your time being with us here, also for your insights, your ideas, your thoughts, but also your work in the background, with your different departments. Okay, before I close officially, Lana, you have something?
No, that
Or-
was by mistake.
all
But
right.
sorry, Muhammad, we tried to give you access just to follow up on that. But anyways, if you have any questions, please reach out to us. I see another hand raised, but due to time, unfortunately,
Yeah,
everybody
please,
cannot
if
take
anyone
that.
has any suggestion, any
Yeah.
question still, please feel free to email us or contact us
Yes.
directly. If this question is towards one of our panelists, we'll try and get the answer from them. If it's for us, we will answer you back. Thank you
Inshallah.
everyone for being.
I think we'll need a little bit more time for the next brief.
Yeah, okay, inshallah. We'll plan for that, Khalil. Maybe, yes, we do that. Maybe we have more information in the next brief, so then, yes, we need more time for that. But thank you very much, everyone, our dearest panelists, and then, of course, our attendees. Enjoy the rest of the day, and we invite everyone to stay in touch with the council. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much
Thank you.
for having
Have
us.
a good
Thank
day.
you.
Bye-bye.